Hi everyone, what's up? It's Crystal May from Hella Bomb, and today I'm sharing with you a very nostalgic recipe for me because it was one of the first real recipes, and real meaning besides learning how to cook rice and egg. One of the first recipes I learned how to cook at the age of 12 years old. This is sauteed beef with bok choy, or what I call 4-star beef bok choy saute. This recipe could be done in 20 minutes or less, and I'm telling you, if a 12-year-old can make this, you can too. Join me today as I cook this recipe and go a little more in depth with the story behind it. Hey everyone, thank you so much for staying to hang out. Now let's get straight into this tutorial. You want to make sure your pan is on medium-high heat and add oil. Next, you'll add 2 bags of beef. To know exactly how much beef 2 bags are, refer to my Tuesday tip on Hella Bomb's Instagram called Money Saving Tip to Store Meat. And make sure to follow me on Instagram for Tuesday tips and other food-related content. Alright, so now it's time for some story time. Growing up, my mom raised my brother and I to be very independent and instilled in us the importance of self-sufficiency and being able to take care of ourselves. She told us, in the event your dad and I get sick or we're not around, we want to make sure you could take care of yourselves, us, and the house. So let's just pause right here. So in the video, I am scooping out the liquid, and this liquid is just the moisture and the fat and the cooked out blood, and we don't want these things at all. So make sure to scoop everything out. All right, so back to the story. So with that said, we basically learned how to do chores and cook and do other responsibilities at a very young age. So as I mentioned, one of the first major things I learned to cook was this dish right here. I took pride in this dish because it was the first time I got to use knives to cut raw meat and veggies and add other ingredients to make it truly my own. I cooked this dish all the time to the point where my mom was like, "You're going to cook that again?" But I loved it because it was fast and tasty and easy, and the intricacy of being able to chop things myself made me feel grown up. And soon my true love to create and experiment in the kitchen soon came. When I first learned this dish, it didn't have star anise. I felt the star anise added a little gourmet flair and touch to elevate the flavor profiles of this dish. And it also added a small depth of flavor than just the salt, pepper, garlic, and oyster sauce that I was originally taught to do. And here I'm going to add a slurry, and the slurry will help the dish create a nice gravy which will coat the bok choy and also my rice when I'm ready to plate. And with everything that I learned with cooking at such a young age, I learned that whether you're cooking one of my recipes or one of your own, don't be afraid to experiment and try something new. That is exactly how I came up with my French toast recipe that I shared with you guys last week. That recipe was just something that I created on a whim because, those were the ingredients that I had, and I needed to, cook something for my cousin and I one breakfast. So I just put things together, and it ended up turning out to be a recipe that I cook up to now. So, when you're in the kitchen, don't feel intimidated at all and try something new. Alright everyone, now this is our 4-star beef bok choy saute. Now I just put it over a bed of steamed rice, and a trick to do is to get your rice, put it in a nice bowl or container, and then flip it onto the plate. This will create a nice perfect bed of rice before you put your entree on top. Now I just sprinkled it with a little bit of red chili flake for some added heat and also some color. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed hearing my story and also learning how to make this dish right here. And lastly, before you leave, make sure to follow me here on YouTube and on my Instagram. I release food-related content all throughout the week, and I don't want you to miss out at all. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope you have a great weekend ahead.